Okay, call is now being recorded. Hi, everyone.
Does that mean we have to be on our best behavior?
I mean,
No.
you do
No.
you.
Okay.
No, not really, but it's one of those things that share what you want to share. Just understand that it could be admitted into law for evidence.
Right. Okay. As long as we all know.
I'm kidding. Welcome to our Phat Life Collective last moon meetup for 2024. We've been doing this for over a year now, a year and a half now. And like every time we do this, it is getting better and better. Oh no. Hold on. It just said, oh, there we go. I was going to say, it just said somebody was joining and then I thought I had, and then, hi, Melissa. So just so you know, the call has been recorded, but we've been doing these calls for a year and a half now. And every call, granted, we don't necessarily do our ritual work that we're going to do tonight because I'm making that special for our last new moon of the year. But every single call, we are having some amazing conversations. And for those that have been on a lot of the calls, please chime in and let me know how you're feeling about what we've been doing for the last year and a half. Where we're looking forward to in 2025. And like all the good things. Like just give me a little bit of something before we jump into the astrology and the shadow and all that stuff.
I personally have got a lot from our meetups in regards to my spiritual growth and just putting in the work and having, you have to do the work yourself, but having a guide such as you, Ash, has really just helped keep on track.
Thank you so much. Taylor had wrote in the chat. Let me see if I can pull that up here. Hold on. Or if somebody else can read the chat for me. It's not pulling up on my end, but I saw it.
Oh man, I think I can get it. Taylor says, it's been a huge mindset change and great in learning more about myself and how I can navigate the suckage of life.
Yes. Will, if you'll just be my chat moderator for this, I'd greatly appreciate it.
I got it pulled
Yay!
up.
Anybody else want to add?
These moon meetups are so good. So good. Literally, I look forward to them, and then if I have to miss them, I'm like, crap. Because it just gives you better insight on, oh, okay, this is what's going on, like things you can be prepared for, things that you know to look for. And the shadow cards have helped with my spiritual growth personally so much. So much. I will never be like, oh, let's not draw that card again.
Even though I know we're all thinking, God damn it.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, these moon meetups definitely mean so much to me. For those of you that have been with me this whole time, you've watched me grow with you as I've watched you guys grow. And I'm ending 2024 on a high note, which is something I can't say over the last couple of years. So yeah, like kudos and like all the things. Because the last couple of years like kind of ended in just tears and heartbreak and frustration and not so good. So like I'm in this mindset of like looking at everything that I have and being grateful for it and trying not to focus on the things that are still kind of upsetting or whatever that may be. But let's talk about the astrology of what this looks like now and going into 2025. Okay. So we have our new moon in Capricorn. This is a black moon. So if you're familiar with a blue moon, once in a blue moon, that's for a full moon. That's when we have 2 full moons within the same 30 days or same calendar month. But a black moon is when we have a new moon, 2 new moons within the same calendar month. And so we have a black moon happening, which really in astrology speak, depending on who you talk to, it doesn't have any extra significant power or anything like that, because we're just starting a new moon cycle, right? But if you look at it on a calendar, it feels like kind of woo, because we don't have black moons very often, right?
Right.
So that's why I wanted us to do our little ritual work. But this new moon is the first new moon in Capricorn that does not have Pluto's influence, because Pluto is no longer in Capricorn. So this is the first new moon in Capricorn since 2008 that doesn't have Pluto's destructive transformation to go along with it. And Capricorn is the sign that is all about making that money, working your way to the top, which granted, it doesn't, like, Capricorns get a bad rep. I know, I'm a Capricorn, but they get a bad rep about being all work and no play. But I love what I do, so work is play, so, you know, whatever. But the new moon is in Capricorn is about manifesting. Like, this is the best time to manifest. So that's why we're going to do this ritual in just a few moments. And it has Saturn's influence over it too, which Saturn is all about constructive. Like, Saturn also gets a bad rep of being a little too harsh sometimes, but its rules are there for a reason. And so that's kind of where we're at right now. So let's talk about like how we're feeling. Because for me, I guess because right now everything is in my like sun and rising sign, I am feeling just, you know, Will, before I even like anybody else hopped on, he was like, "You're glowing." And I'm like, "Oh, it's just the lighting." But I feel good. Like, I feel like the best I have felt in a very long time. And I've sat here and I have cried this season, but they've been happy, like joyful, gratitude filled tears, and not this like frustration. I want to like violence kind of tear, you know? And so I'm still gonna say it's the lighting, but I still like, thanks, girl, kind of thing. So
No, you turned that light off and it was still there. So
Hey.
but how about everybody else? Or like, a lot of times this time of year is hard for a lot of people. I know firsthand. But this year just feels different. So tell me how we're feeling. Don't all speak at once.
I feel good. And I'm excited about the upcoming year and the future. But I have pretty good reason. So
Of course, Miss Newly Engaged. And congratulations.
thank you.
Anybody?
So for me, during Christmas, and I know it's just a couple of days ago, I was kind of like, eh. And I had like the blues there for a minute, but something shifted. It's astrology. I mean, the moon, I don't know. But literally, even though I've been sick and there've been literal things where I'm like, oh, God, this again, I have like joy in my heart. I have a good presence going into it. And normally that is not like this time last year was horrific, but I have like a really good feeling about 2025. I don't know what it is. It just feels different. I've not felt like this in a long, long time about, oh, this is going to be a good year. Usually it's just like,
Yeah.
Taylor said in the chat, roller coastery, lots of things I want to go back to doing and cut out, but remembering what all I've achieved this year.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Anyone else? Well, let's talk about what 2025 looks like, right? So 2024, if you remember our end of year call last year, we talked about 2024 being a number 8 year. 2023 was a 7 year, and it was all about cutting things out and like letting things go and purging. And 2024 was an 8 year that was all about karma and abundance And that karma, either you had good karma or bad karma because of the shit that you were either already doing or not. And granted, even though 2024 could have been a bad year for you, that doesn't mean that there's not abundance there. So keep that in mind. One. But and that's something that like finally clicked for me, because I felt like, especially over the last, since 2022 up until just recently, I felt like everything has just been falling apart. I've lost friends. I've cut out like how I interact with family. How the Phat Life is changing, all sorts of things. And I was like, in this lack mindset of I'm losing everything and nothing's there. And I don't know what it was, but a few weeks ago, I just had a moment of like clarity and realized that all the things that I have been working towards is still there. It just looks differently. And the things that I've cut out or lost, even though there's grief there, because we talk about that, there's still like so much. I have so much, and I need to make sure that I'm watering the things that are still here and not trying to water the dead plants that have been stuck in the corner for a long time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of where we're at. So 2025, now goes into a 9th year, a 9 numerology year, which is a year of completion. We are completing this year. We're ending the cycle, and we're really going to sit with the fruits of our labor kind of piece of it. And this particular year, especially with it being the new moon in Capricorn, because keep in mind, we've talked about when it comes to manifesting with the moon, it's a 6-month cycle. So we're starting a 6-month cycle where, every full moon will be a new challenge towards this cycle, right? But what we're going to do tonight with our ritual is going to be pushing us forward for the next 6 months. Okay. 1, 2, this is about really becoming the things that we've been talking about for the last year and a half. Because if you remember over the last year, when we talk about these new moons, who are we? Are we showing up for ourselves? Are we making room for where we want to go? Are we doing the things we need to do, right? We've been doing all of that for the last year, but now this new moon in Capricorn is saying, okay, you've been becoming this for a while. We've been learning our lessons. We've been doing this stuff. Now it's time for us to actually embody that, right? Are we embodying that? And if so, let's go, kind of thing. And so that's where we're at right now. So with that, think about all the shadow work we've done this year. We've talked a lot about the shadow. We've done our gargoyle cards, which this card right here was last new moons. It was the money card. And I think this is the card that made me go, wait a minute, what? I think this is the card that made me really sit with that mindset shift, that ego death that we talk about, because it says you focus on what you do not have and you will never have enough. But the affirmation is I love, and then money flows towards me and I am abundant already. And by me, like these cards that we pull every month, it's not a matter of like what, it's a matter about being mindful to whether or not we're sitting in that lack mindset or a growth mindset. And I think this card, when we pulled it last time, I was like, fuck, I am abundant already. Why am I sitting here worried about not having enough money? Why am I sitting here worried about not having more space or more stuff when I'm already full to the brim? I'm bitching about needing to find a place with more space, but really what I need to do is go through my shit and get rid of the shit I don't need anymore, But us pulling these cards every month are so helpful. And then we add our new conversation cards where we're really journaling on this. And believe it or not, I don't have the book with me. Of course, I thought I prepared for all of this, but I don't have my book with me where, I am writing these down in my own journal, and I'm literally sitting with the questions, and I'm journaling about the questions so that one, I'm doing the work with y'all, and it's not all talk. Two, I actually take that to my therapist and I'm like, here's the cards we pulled this time. Can we talk about it? And that's been so helpful in my own journey with the professional I pay for, kind of thing. So that these are going to continue. They may look a little different, but these are going to continue in 2025, and we're going to talk about it. So we pulled the money card last time, especially in the season of Christmas. Like, the money ends up being makes the world go around, especially this time of year. How are y'all feeling in regards to that card? Did you have little epiphanies, kind of like I did?
I used to have a really like most people, this time of year would stress me out because of the whole money situation. I'd go into a lot of debt just to give people things that, whether or not they appreciated them, but especially all the nieces and nephews that I have, they'd have that toy for 2 months and then it'd be, they forgot about it. And now I'm under the mindset is like, I'm not going to put myself under more stress and more debt just to give somebody something. I value more of the memory and the time spent with those people. And I've kind of just explained to everybody, it's like, I don't want you to buy me anything. Don't expect anything from me, unless I just see something that happens to speak to me for you. But even then, like, I'm not going to stress myself over it. And it's really helped my mental space, because I'm not going into the new year thousands of dollars worth of debt that I'm going to take all year to pay off just to go right back into it. And so, and that quality time means way more to me than any gift. Like, whether we go to a coffee shop and sit for a few hours and just chit chat, that means more to me than anything you could ever give me. Now, if there's sentimental stuff, then yes, but going out and just buying me something I can buy myself, I'm my own rich man. I can buy whatever I need. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Anyone else? I think Taylor just popped something in the chat.
She said, last month I had a bad dopamine spending streak. Really made me realize what other things I could have/do if I didn't do all this spending on stupid things like mobile apps.
Yeah, I feel that so hard. I purged boxes and boxes worth of stuff back in the summer, and I feel like I've just, like, I ended up winning a really nice pot and pan set for my company Christmas party. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to splurge. And I bought new knives and new sheets, like cookie sheets, and new dishes and stuff. So I had to get rid of I had to purge some more, but I feel like I just keep bringing more stuff in. But it's an endless cycle. Anyone else want to share how that money card, like, maybe made you mindful, or how you're feeling in this month of money?
I think I always think of money and abundance together. I've been very privileged, and just like the more generous I am, the more it comes back to me. And so to me, it's just like, and I'm not talking about gifting. It's just one of those things that I think this time of year, it's a reminder of what kind of life you can live, and to really reset those goals. And I don't know, and this past year I had so many challenges in terms of money, but I still ended up meeting my goals and exceeding them. And so even with this new moon, it's like, okay, set it up so that next year is just as successful.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. I'm so excited for you. I know that we're all going to have a good year. Now, does that mean that there's not going to be negative impacts potentially? No. But overall, I think about, like, just how much we've all grown together and how much this has been such a good, like, even with the ups and downs, there's still really good pieces throughout the year that's happened. And Melissa, you're absolutely right. When I have spent more money, like, money flows to me. So and money is energetic. So the more that I put out, the more it comes back. But it's also in that mindset of like, am I putting this out because I have to, or because I'm worried, or am I putting this out because it's loving, and I'm putting this out because I want to spread that growth kind of piece. And I witness in my own life that depending on where my mindset is, depends on how my money flows. So when I'm freaking out and I'm worried about money, even when I'm spending it, it does not flow back to me as easily as it does when I'm thinking of I'm investing, or I'm, in myself or in my home. Like I spent that money, I splurged and spent that money on those kitchen sets, but my thought process was I'm splurging so I can have a better experience. And I know that that's gonna just continue to flow too. So absolutely. So let's talk about our conversation cards. So for those that haven't been with us during these new cards, there's two cards. One is identifying the shadow, and one is an integrating the shadow. And our last cards were what makes you feel unsafe and vulnerable. Anybody want to share on that? Did anybody have any epiphanies? For me, I find that I feel the most unsafe around men I do not know. Men I don't know, and this is why I have a hard time dating or meeting anybody new, is because of just experiences that I've had. Even though I haven't had as negative experiences as others, the emotional abuse that I have experienced through family, through past relationships, through especially with men, that thought process of going into a new thing with a new person that I don't know if I can be, if you're a safe person, one in general, but especially if you're emotionally safe, it makes it very that's a huge trigger for me. So I tend to, especially when I'm going through rough things, because the emotional abuse that I experienced in my life was more along the lines of we don't have negative, and if you're having a bad time, keep it to yourself kind of thing. So the last couple of years where I've had a bad time, yeah, I've shared, but I also haven't shared everything because of that stuff. And so that's where my vulnerability comes from with identifying my triggers. So anybody else want to share?
Taylor said, same as Ash, also no control, whether that be I'm sick, so I can't do work as well as I usually do, or just situations where I don't know anything, or putting myself out there and not knowing how people will react.
Mm-hmm. And that comes from the wound of rejection and the wound of judgment. I don't know if you've seen my TikToks, if you guys follow me on TikTok, but I just got a new book called The Inner Work for Relationships. Mm-hmm. And granted, this book is more about couple type relationships, but it's so important even with friendships and all ships of all kinds kind of thing, whether it's a rowboat or a cruise ship kind of thing. And so, but it talks about the different wounds that can pop up and how to identify them and how to self-heal on those, because I have a couple of those wounds, but also how to work through it as a partner. Like if you had a friend or a relationship where those were wounds that came up for your person, how to be there and support them in the best ways that you can. But like Taylor's saying, that lack of control and not showing up for authentically almost because of a fear of how people will react or peace, that's definitely a way. By identifying that, you can work through that kind of aspect. So anyone else?
I just want to say I kind of figured out, as far as feeling unsafe, I saw a thing earlier, and it may not be new to you all, but I've never seen this, and it said, are you healed, or have you isolated yourself so much that you're not triggered? And I definitely feel in a lot of ways I have healed, but also I have kind of isolated myself because I know what people trigger me, and I'm just like, get out, So in this coming year, I'm really want to try to not push people away, but I also want to keep those boundaries, because in the way I'm living right now, where I'm unsafe is in here, because I tend to just not make things unsafe, but just overanalyze and critique myself to the point to where I just really hold myself to a higher standard than what I do everybody else. And then when I make a mistake, it's the end of the world, but especially in my work. But yeah, that's where I feel unsafe.
Yes, I understand that. I'm so glad you shared that. And Taylor just said the same thing. I just saw that pop up in the chat. Yeah, like, are you truly healed, or are you just isolating yourself to the point that you're not triggered anymore? And I think that for especially those of us that are on this journey together in the collective, we are healed in certain aspects or on our way to healing. But there are other aspects that either they haven't come up for us yet to talk about here for us to work on, but you've isolated yourself in a way. I know I've done this to where I'm not triggered so much, especially over the last couple of years. I have isolated myself more in the last couple of years because the shit that's happened to me over the last couple of years has just crushed my confidence in ways that just were really like, what the fuck? Who the fuck am I? Kind of thing, you know? Like, who am I if I'm not doing X, Y, and Z? Or who am I if I'm not showing up like 1, 2, 3? And there's been some ego deaths in that aspect. In fact, you know, not Netflix, oh my gosh, Instagram does their like top 9, like you can see that pop up, and that popped up in my memories today. And so I went and did it, and the top 9 squares from 4 years ago that had popped up to the top 9 squares for this year are 2 totally like, who are these bitches? You know, I'm not the same person I was 4 years ago, and it reflects in how I was showing up on my Instagram. Because in 2020 it was very sexualized in the sense of like, I'm a big girl, look at me, I can still be whatever, you know, in my lingerie or whatever. And there's nothing bad about that. I'm not judging myself on that. I looked hot, and I'm, you know, but in the 2 years since then, or the 4 years since then, because that was from 2020, I've had these ego deaths in the sense of like, I don't want to be that anymore. I still want to be viewed and validated, but not for the way I was portraying myself. And so, and that's the whole point of this journey, is to have those, oh shit. So who am I? There are certain things that haven't changed. I still am very passionate about inspiring others through self-growth, body positivity, and spirituality, but it's just on a different tone. It's on that darker level, and not darker in the sense of a negative, but darker in the sense of like, let's figure out what's going on there. Whereas before it was like, oh, you know, all love and light and shit. Love and light is great, but there has to be a balance. And we have a lot of love and light, which I love that, but we don't have enough of the like, let's get to the nitty gritty and stop bypassing the bullshit.
Yeah. The nitty gritty and the bullshit's more relatable.
Absolutely. The nitty gritty and the bullshit is definitely more relatable. Not only that, by like cleaning that shit up and cleaning it out, which is all about Capricorn season to begin with, allows for you to make room for better things. And that's been my lesson this past year. So anyone else want to share what makes you feel unsafe or vulnerable before we go into what I didn't find?
I'll go.
Okay.
This is kind of, we've talked about this before, like in our other astrology things. You know, I don't like to write things down because people use that against you. And for me, when you write something, excuse me, when you write something, it's kind of like people can misconstrue it. Like when you text somebody, it's a great way for them to misunderstand because they can't hear your tone. I hate writing things down because I know what I mean and somebody else might not. So for me, I'm working on writing things down. You keep telling me I have to write things down. I don't even like to write what I'm going to get at the store. That's how bad it is. I don't like to write things down because people and my mom, she'll even be like, "You need to write that down." I'll even forget where the hell I put the list at. I do not like to write things down. I have a text that I'll text myself and then I'll go in and erase it. That's how bad it is. So I'm still working on that. But as far as trusting and all that, mm-mm. It's bad. I know, but I'm working on it.
But the fact that that's the first thing
Yeah.
to the first step to being able to heal and work through that is
Admitting
acknowledging
it.
it and saying, okay, we've got to make a change. And
Right.
6 months ago, you wouldn't have done that. So look at your growth.
I would have 6 months ago, but I probably would have said, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna change it. Like, this is who I am. What, bitch?
Well, that's what I'm
So
saying. Yeah, that's
now
what I'm
I'm
saying.
saying I need to change it. And,
Just be quiet and
right.
accept the compliment, damn it.
Oh, I mean, like, thank you. Like, for sure. Amazing. You're great. Yeah.
That was a compliment, and you're like, no, I would have done, ma'am.
Well, that's another thing I'm working on. I don't take compliments well. So
Well,
thank you.
stick with me long enough, and I'll have you all worked through that.
You're gonna have me like saying thank you, and you're like, that wasn't even a compliment, bitch. That was me telling you like you need to like calm the fuck down. And I'll be like,
That's
oh,
okay.
okay, well, still thank you.
Oh my gosh. All right,
Right.
let's go to our integrating. So we have identified with the one card, and then we integrated with the other. And the other one was, how do you see your future self dealing with your shadow self? Yeah, that's one of those where I don't remember exactly what I wrote, but it was something along the lines of like, with grace and compassion, a little more than I used to, with a little bit more patience than I may be used to, with a little less judgment than I used to, because I like, when I mess up, I really kind of beat myself up, especially when I mess up something out of character for me, and when I mess up out of character, like I really like eat myself alive on that stuff. But part of that growth is more along the lines of like, again, another epiphany I had this year was like, what is this trying to teach me versus, oh, I'm terrible for what I did. No, what is this trying to teach me? Why did I react that way? Or why is this like bothering me so much? So anyone else want to share that? No.
I'm hoping for the same, that I don't beat myself up so hard when I make a mistake, or that I a little more. Taylor said, welcome it more than try to shove it into the core of the earth. Good and bad isn't necessarily good or bad.
Right. It just is.
Yeah.
We're all human. I was chatting back and forth because I'm in these book groups, and Throne of Glass shows up a lot for me because it's becoming very popular. It's also one of my favorites. And somebody was talking about, why is it that we hate this particular character? His name's Kaal. And to me, I never hated him, but people hate him because of his dumb decisions. Like, they judged this written character for the dumb decisions or how he reacted to certain things. And I was like making a little comment saying like, he made bad decisions because he was young, dumb, but they all came from good intentions and from a human perspective. Because most of the people in that whole series are not human. They're what's the word I'm looking for? Extraordinary with these like magical abilities or whatever. Except for him. He's the only one that's like doesn't have any magic, doesn't have any special skills. He's human. And I I really believe that the people that don't like him are the ones that relate too much to him,
Mm.
you know, and they are projecting that piece of like, no, he wasn't perfect, and so therefore he's shit, kind of thing. So that was just something. But we're gonna pull some cards and then we're gonna get into our ritual. We may go a little over 9 o'clock, but you know, we always get into some good conversations. So
We gotta go, guys.
okay, see you, bye.
Come on.
Bye.
Bye.
But we always get into such good conversation. So we're gonna pull our gargoyle for the shadow we need to work on, and then we're gonna and that one flew. So I think we've had this one before. Vision is the one that we have, and so the call out on this is that you lack discipline and focus and you cannot find your purpose. But the affirmation is that I'm here to anchor in the golden age and I'm a visionary. And I think we have had this card before.
I believe so.
But it's such a good card.
Mhm.
So emulating an icon that you hold as the ideal version of success may have you so focused on becoming a copy of this celebrity that you're missing out on opportunities to create your own unique blueprint, incorporating their wisdom with your purpose. While you hold the vision to impact a larger audience or achieve higher goals, set into motion what is appearing in front of you right now. When you wish you were already there, you may actually be missing out on the signs arriving in this present moment, specifically designed to lead you to fulfill your potential. Your shadow is using resistance, sabotage, and feelings of not being on purpose to trip you up. It is time to reassess and align with your soul's vision. You are part of the new global phenomenon, a paradigm shift, of moving away from creating businesses and instead creating communities that serve one another and cooperate. You are called to tread the first footsteps on a new path in your field. Your time of duplicating others is done. Integrate all the learning and tools your teachers gave you with what makes you stand out in a crowd and start a movement. Damn it. This is, and I say that because I literally just posted on my Facebook and my TikTok, the more you show up, the more you glow up, or the more I show up, the more I glow up.
Yeah.
And I want all of y'all to repeat that. The more I show up, the more I glow up. And that doesn't mean like show up in the sense of like just showing up somewhere, showing up as you authentically with the things and the knowledge that you have, the things that you've learned in your own career, in your own experiences, in your own, even in this, like how our calls and what we are talking about, how you perceive them, and then how you talk about it and show up to others is what allows others to be like, you know what, I want to do that. Or you know what, I want to learn more. Or you know what, like it's time. And that's part of what 2025 is for me, is like, granted, we have the orange coming back into office. And that's kind of scary in and of itself, depending on, you know, how you view that. But the future doesn't feel scary. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's because I feel the shift that's happening. I feel the energy that's coming through. And I feel how so many people are waking up and they're like, things have got to change. But things can't change if they don't know where to go. And they don't know where to go if they don't have people like us showing up and glowing up in that aspect. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So be mindful of the vision, be mindful of showing up so that you can glow up in that aspect. And as always, it calls us out, right? So the next one we're going to do, the next card is our conversation card. So our identifying card for the next month, woo, flew out at me. Change. And it says, do you prefer change or do you avoid it, and why? This is identifying. So when you sit and think about it, do you prefer change? Why do you prefer change? Is it because like you get bored with it? But why do you get bored with it? Is it because you got bored because there was always change in your childhood and therefore change feels normal and normal feels whatever? Or is it the opposite way where there was so much chaos in your childhood that you don't like change because change equals chaos or whatever it may be? So take some time. I'm going to post these pictures in the collective, but take the time to like sit and write with that. And then our integrating card. So shit, I dropped half the deck. That doesn't count. We can't identify everything at once. There we go. So our integrating card is, how can your shadow self help you understand your purpose? How can your shadow self understand your purpose? Shoo! My shadow self, I can tell you right off the bat, my shadow self, by me being willing to step into the shadow, by me being willing to understand my shadow self and then teach others to do the same, that's my purpose. That's my purpose. I already know that. But not everybody has that. So really sit with that so that you can integrate that. So you can integrate where these triggers are coming up so that you can help find your own purpose kind of piece.
Mhm.
Anything anybody want to share or talk about in regards to those?
I really like those cards. That's all I'm gonna say.
The conversation cards? Oh yeah. We're gonna do another eliminating the shadow class at the Sacred Owl. I'm waiting on them to get back with me with dates because I was a slacker and didn't respond promptly. So but these cards, like that class will be different every time because we're gonna pull different cards every time. But it allows us to have a deeper conversation than what this time on these calls do.
Okay,
Also,
so it won't be a continuation. It'll be it's the same class, but it'll be different because we're pulling different cards. Correct. That's what you just said.
Kinda, yeah, because every time we have new people, I have to kind of talk about what the shadow is.
Right.
But it's still like, you know how these calls go. They're very similar, but it's going to be shadow specific versus astrology with a shadow and stuff. But also, we're done with this book. This was the 2024 Moonology book. We're done. Out. We've got a new book. I don't like the cover. I don't know where I did with it. It's somewhere over there. And the cover is like this really pretty, like flowery, thing. And I'm like, I mean, it's pretty, don't get me wrong, but I like, this is probably my favorite one so far. So, but we're done. We're out. Threw it out. And we'll start the new one at the next one. So, but I feel like I'm rushing now because I'm like, okay, let's get to the ritual. If anybody needs to leave, I totally understand, but I want us to be able to do this together. So, for those that are participating, do you have all your stuff or do you need a minute to get it all together?
I don't really have any herbs, so I have what I have.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Do you have like rosemary and thyme in your kitchen? That's herbs.
Oh yeah, I do. 1 second.
Rosemary, thyme, cumin, cloves, all of that shit that most people have in their kitchen is the same stuff that you can use for witchcraft. Oh my goodness. Okay, so for those that are participating, make sure that you have, which I'm gonna kind of turn this
I
down.
brought the kitchen.
You brought the kitchen. Can you guys see what I'm doing here?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So make sure you have a tray that you can get wax on. Make sure that if you don't have 6 candles, that's totally fine. 1 candle is fine. I chose 6 because I'm focusing on the next 6 months because this is a new moon in Capricorn. We're 6 months in until we have the full moon. So I have 6 candles, 3 black, 3 white, only because I want the symmetry of it, but also 2 black represents protection and transformation, and white represents new beginnings. Okay. So with that, I also have my oils. If you don't have a particular oil you like to use, olive oil is fine. Okay. It does not have to be anything fancy. Woo! This is a particular intention oil for manifesting abundance that I got from Inner Perfect. And then I have my Triple John oil, which gives it a little kick when it comes to magic. So I want a little oomph to it. And then I have my big ass, oh shit, this is halfway empty. I hope I have enough. My bottle, my box of kosher salt, my bowl for us to burn things in, the crystals. I'm going to talk about those, and then my herbs. Okay. So, first things first. What we want to do is we want to cleanse the space that we have. Where's my policy? So we always want to ground and center ourselves. So we're going to cleanse the space that we have. So I have some Palo Santo, or I think it's Palo Santo. It might be something else. Anyway, you can use incense. You can use like all sorts of different things that you can use to cleanse your space. So when we cleanse our space, we're going to take a moment and we're going to just take some deep breaths in, because I want to ground myself. I'm feeling very like, oh shit, I got to hurry. But really, if you guys want to be here, be here. And I want you to be here, and I want to do this right. So we're going to take a few moments and take some deep breaths in and ground and center, because I want our energy to be grounded and not chaotic, which is what I was feeling for a second. We're going to cleanse the space. So we're going to light our incense or whatever it is that you're wanting to use right now. And you want to go in a clockwise motion around your space and around yourself too. Kind of really you're cleansing yourself, you're cleansing your space, but you want to do clockwise motion. And you're going to set that wherever you'd like. That's enough, like fire safe. You can, like, if you've got a space, I'm going to put it in my bowl here. Just let it sit. So now that we've cleansed the space, we've taken a few moments to breathe and ground and center. I don't know about y'all, but I'm tingling when I get my magic going. I'm already tingling. We're going to take the salt and we're going to actually pour a circle around everything that we're doing. And listen, my cat is jumping on the table because when I do magic, they are magic babies. They were actually born in circle. And so they like to come and be a part of it. But we're going to make our circle. And then we're going to put, I already have my crystals out. I'm going to tell you what I have, but we're going to put our crystals around, like within the circle. I have carnelian, which is meant to bring in love and good things. I have a clear quartz, which is good just for energy, cleansing, things like that. I have tiger's eye for protection. I have citrine for success and money and abundance. And I have selenite to really kind of focus that energy in and bring it together. So now that we have everything set up, we're going to grab our herbs. And I picked out a couple herbs. I have colt's foot, which is used for love, tranquility, and money spells. But it also inspires peace and clarity. Because my intentions for this, for myself, is to be in alignment of peace and abundance and love. Every day in every way, love and abundance comes my way. and so mote it be. But my main focus is that if I'm in alignments, I'm in peace and I'm having a good time and I'm glowing. Like you guys are talking about me glowing. It's because I feel the most aligned I've felt in a long time. And so I have a colt's foot, which is meant for love, money. I have lavender, which is this is also for like peace and attracting like love and just promoting just clarity and joy. I have comfrey leaf, which is it's meant to bring in good luck and good fortune, especially in financial matters. I have St. John's wort, which is it's meant to protect against a wide range of like negative influences, inspire courage, because I'm trying to be more courageous in showing up so that I can glow up, and also warding off evil, things like that. And then the last one I chose was cloves. And cloves is meant to bring in love, money, protection. It's also meant to cleanse the aura. And when it's burned, it's meant to stop gossip and shit. So this is like also like a transmutation ritual for me, because like if you're gonna talk shit about me, fine, whatever, I don't care. It's just gonna bring more money in. I'm transmuting that negative into positive, and it's bringing more peace into my life because I have, excuse me, the right people in place for it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the bowl that I have, and I'm gonna put just a little bit of each herb in that bowl, because this is just meant to hold everything until I dress the candles. So just, and my cats are like, oh my god, she's over here and she's just having a blast. She's like, let me in on it. So just put everything in a bowl for right now. And you don't have to have a lot, but we're gonna use the herbs to dress our candles in just a moment. Okay, so once I have everything in there, I'm just gonna kind of mix it all together. So I have it all mixed together. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take each candle and I'm gonna rub a little bit of the oil on each one. So I have my intention oil, and you only need a couple of drops. And I'm going to use a little bit of my High John, and I'm going to rub everything on it. And then I'm going to just dress my candles with it. And if you want, sometimes you can carve into your candles too to do these, but I'm just kind of trying to mush them in. And we're just going to set it aside because I'm going to use the wax when I burn it. And look, like the cloves that I'm using, I'm going to just stick them right in if I can. I can get it to stay without breaking the candle. Because I'm gonna use the wax and just kind of set them right there. So then I'm gonna set them out. Motherfucker! Ah! I just spilled that everywhere. Oops.
Abundance.
Well, I just transferred all this into another jar. So now I'm like, that's okay. It's abundance. That's fine. It is, but ugh. You know what I mean. How are y'all doing over there?
Doing
Any,
well.
any questions? Look, all this oil that I just spilled, I'm just gonna rub my candle in it on the table. Oh, this black is gonna make a mess. Look at what it's doing to my hand.
Oh no.
That's okay. It's all right. Abundance.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't have 6 white or black candles. I have one big gray candle.
That's okay. That's okay. Just the
Yeah,
one
I
candle.
got 6 tea lights.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And that's perfectly fine too. So I'm gonna just take a little bit of wax. I'm gonna start sealing these. Oh, come on now.
What are we doing?
So I'm lighting the candle, and I'm
Yeah.
dripping a little bit of wax just so that I can try to get it to stand up for itself.
Gotcha.
Okay. Just a little bit. Hey, Ozic, can you bring me a washcloth or towel, please? So I can wipe my hand off. Thought I had everything and I don't.
I'm sick.
I'm sorry, we'll go later.
Yeah, it's not like I feel sick. I here. It's like my stomach is a little bit messed up.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it's a little bit bubbly right now, so but very.
So I'm just kind of dressing these candles. And make sure that however you decide to set them, that you set them in a way to where you'll be able to still reach the bowl in the middle. So just kind of keep that in mind. And you're doing this with the focus of like your intentions, like peace and love or whatever it may be. And then when you're done, with the candle part, let me know.
I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done.
Oh, am I the one that's behind right now?
We only had one candle to do.
Oh yeah, and Chrissy had tea lights.
Yeah.
Y'all were smart. Look at my hand. So gross.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. All right. So now that we have our candles, which I did them like half and half as far as as far as how I like put them side by side to each other. But you can do them however you want. It does not matter. For those that are watching the replay, it does not matter. So what we're going to do now is we've got this burning, and we're going to sit and we're going to kind of, again, grounding and focusing on our intentions. I want you to take your pen and paper that you brought. Oh no, my new sweater. God, I hope that comes out. Ah,
It's gonna be
I
full
did
of
not make this
magic.
thing. Huh?
It's gonna be full of magic.
I know, right? So take your piece of paper. I'm actually taking my homemade paper that I have, and we're going to take a pen and we're going to write down what our intentions are in 2025. Or, you know, if you're watching the replay and you're thinking about doing this for just the future, you know, what the next 6 months looks like. But I want you to write it in present tense. So if you're writing it, write it in a way that says like, I am in my most successful, abundant lifetime or timeline, or however you want to put it. I am, I'm the healthiest, I am the wealthiest, I am the wisest, however you want to put it. Just put it in an I am statement of where you are based off the vision that you have for yourself of what you're doing 6 months from now. And then when you're ready, let me know.
Ready.
Okay. You do not have to share what you've written, but what I will say is that I want you to take a moment and really, again, focus your energy on being grounded, focus your energy on your intent. For me, I wrote things like, I am the wealthiest and the healthiest I've ever been. I've built an amazing community and life in such a short amount of time. I am so loved. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our paper and we're going to actually fold it to us because we want that energy to come to us. So you're going to fold it at least 3 times. So as you're thinking about where you are, I am the healthiest, I am the wealthiest I have ever been, and it's just getting started. I have built an amazing brand and community, and in such an amount of time, I am so loved, and it is apparent and abundant, and I'm bringing that energy in to me. And I'm thinking about, I am the healthiest, I'm the wealthiest, and I've built such an amazing community and brand. I am so loved, and I'm folding that in again. Okay. And then we're going to do it a 3rd time. So loved and focused, and I'm wealthy and I'm healthy, and I have everything I could ask for in such a short amount of time. Right. And so once we folded that, we're going to light it. But be careful. So this is why your bowl is so important, because we're going to light it. And I'm just going to throw it in there with the herbs. And we're going to sit here and we're just going to focus our energy on what it is that we're bringing into this. We're focusing our energy on our intentions that we've set. We're transforming ourselves into the people that we've been working so hard to get to. We've been working hard on this, and now we're becoming it. We're focused on becoming the highest, most spectacular versions of ourselves. We're focused on being the healthiest, wealthiest version of ourselves. Negative energy isn't welcome here unless it's for my highest good. Okay? I'm here to learn and grow, but I'm also here to show up and teach. Things like that. This is what we're focusing. We're putting our intention, we're putting our energy, we're doing the action. We're doing the action in our circle of protection, in our cloves of protection, our money. Money flows freely to me from multiple sources. People want to spend their time with me. People want to spend their money with me. These are just all affirmations that you can use depending on what your intentions are. Money flows freely to me from multiple sources. The more abundant that I am, the more abundance I can give. Every day I receive love and abundance, and it shows. Every day I am receiving some sort of prosperity, some sort of love, some sort of abundance in my life. Every day, there is peace. I'm in my highest alignment that I can be based on my frequency right now. I'm raising my frequency to be in my highest alignment. I am doing what's needed to be in my highest alignment.
It smells amazing.
I'm just praying my alarm doesn't go off. But yeah, it smells amazing. It visually looks, I don't know about y'all. Let me see your cameras. Like mine, I think this looks so cool.
My paper won't burn.
Oh. Maybe you're not focused enough. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm like, oh no, my dreams are bad.
No. But over the next little bit, I know it's getting late, so we're gonna. Oh, and there's a thunderstorm. We brought some magic in. Oh, the thunder and the lightning, the energetic piece of this coming in. Oh, that's perfect. Okay. But anyway, we are sitting with this. We're allowing the paper to burn. We're focused on the energy, the health, the wealth, the love, the abundance. We're putting it all into this magic, right?
Right.
So mote it be. So mote it be. As I say it, that will be done. Make sure you're closing with that. So mote it be.
So mote it be.
So mote it be. Poor Lori's like just struggling. What
I
kind
was
of paper
burning
did you use?
It took it
Oh,
a minute.
Okay.
I'm going with that. It's going to take it a minute.
Yeah. Well, it could take months. It could take a while. But yeah, I know you are, baby. I know. We've got this. I'm so excited for us because I know that especially those that are showing up for this, and that are here tonight, every single one of you that have shown up for yourselves on all of these calls, every single one of you that is doing this, like this magic is powerful and I can feel it. I don't know about y'all, but I feel it. I feel the change that's coming in the best way. And, in 6 months from now, if I'm in a bad mood and I'm like, my life sucks, I need y'all to remind me how fucking powerful I am because I'm going to do the same for you. I'm going to do the same for you. You all show up for me in ways that I can not express my gratitude for. And I hope that I'm able to do the same for you and that it shows. But this magic, let this burn. Of course, keep an eye on it. If you're smart and did the tea lights, it might just be an hour. For me, it might be 2. But take a moment and let this burn. If you do decide that you want to like put the candle out, like, you know, Will, you said that you had one of those big candles.
Yeah.
Don't blow it out, because if you blow it out, you're blowing out all of your hard work. You're going to want to actually, you know, put it out if you have one of those like bells or, you know, a lick and stick kind of thing. Yeah.
I love pain.
It's not painful if you do it right.
Maybe I don't do it right on purpose.
We're getting into some weird book talk territory, man. But
Maybe that's what I'm manifesting.
maybe that's what I'm manifesting too. Just not the stalker vibe though, because that's what I'm reading right now. That's not really my jam. But anyway, I'm gonna open up. Anybody have any questions or anything you want to share before we end the call?
I've had fun. I've loved this.
Yeah,
Good.
I love this.
Well, hopefully we'll do more. I've got plans. So 2025 is going to be a good year for both the collective turning into a circle. For those that don't know, we're rebranding, we're changing platforms, we're moving to bigger, better things, and I'm excited. And this is going to be so good. And I'm welcoming the protection and the success and the love and everything and everything all together. So, and yeah. I love you all. Thank you all so much for showing up for me and being here. Thank you so much for, like, I'll bring the camera back up. Try not to light myself on fire while I do that. I appreciate you all so much. I love this community that we've built, and I love what we're doing, and I love the conversations that we're having, and I look forward to seeing all of y'all in the new year. So.
Same.
Bye.
Be safe for the new year. Be safe.
Yes,
Yeah.
please be safe. See
Yes.
y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.